Day's spoilers for Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. What is up, Salemites? Welcome back to the channel, the only place where we don't just watch the hourglass turn, we smash it open to see what's really hiding inside the sand. I hope you have your coffee, or maybe a stiff drink from the Brady pub, because we have got to talk about what is going down in Salem this Thursday, January 22nd. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Stephanie Johnson stalker mystery. The plot is thickening faster than Alice Horton's clam chowder. We've got Steve Patch Johnson going full secret agent mode, we have Jada Hunter connecting dots, and we have a very suspicious Jeremy cozying up to Julie. Is he the villain? Is he a red herring? Or is he something much worse? Plus, we need to talk about JJ and Theo. This reunion, it's not going to be pretty. If you thought the tension was high before, wait until you see what happens at the hospital. 1. The stalker files Steve, Alex, and the bait strategy. Okay, let's start with the story, because this is where the heat is. We know that Stephanie and Alex are officially engaged. And usually, in Soapland, an engagement is a cue for champagne and happiness. But this is Salem, folks. An engagement is basically a target on your back. We know that on Thursday, while the girls Stephanie and Jada are out doing wedding prep, which implies looking at flowers and tasting cakes, the boys are doing something entirely different. The spoilers tell us that Alex and Steve are having a very intense sit-down. Here is my take on this. Steve Johnson is terrified. I don't care how tough he acts, that is his baby girl being targeted. The spoilers mention that Steve shows Alex a threatening photo. Now, pause. Let's analyze this. What is in this photo? Is it a picture of Stephanie sleeping? That's the classic stalker trope, right? To show, I can get close to her while she's vulnerable. Or, is it a picture of Alex with a target on his head? I have a theory here. I think Steve is using Alex as bait. We know Alex is trying to lure the killer out. This is a massive risk. Alex Kyriakis is many things rich. He's handsome. He wears sunglasses endorsement. Is he a tactical genius? No. Steve is the pro. I feel like we're going to see a scene where Steve has to essentially coach Alex on how to be a target without getting killed. And think about the psychological toll on Alex. He just got the girl. He put a ring on it. And now, he has to sit there and look at photographic evidence that someone wants to destroy his life. I'm expecting Robert Scott Wilson to give us some serious anxiety acting here. But here is the kicker. While Steve is briefing Alex, Jada is getting new evidence. The spoiler says Jada and Steve receive new clues. Are they working separately? Because if Jada is with Stephanie doing wedding stuff, how is she getting evidence? My guess, Jada is undercover. She's not just looking at wedding dresses, she's scanning the perimeter. She's using the wedding prep as a cover to flush out the stalker, who might be watching Stephanie try on gowns. That is brilliant police work, if that's the case. Section 2. The Jeremy Enigma villain or victim. Now, we have to talk about Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. You handsome, mysterious enigma. The spoilers for January 22nd are very specific. Jeremy is having a heart-to-heart confession with Julie Williams, and then Jada shows up with questions. Let's unpack this. Why Julie? Julie is the matriarch. She is the gatekeeper of the Horton morality. If you want redemption in this town, you go through Julie. If Jeremy is confessing to her, it tells me one of two things. Theoria. Jeremy is actually innocent of the stalking, but he has a shady past he's been hiding. Maybe he's on the run. Maybe he stole money. He confesses to Julie to clear his conscience, thinking, at least I'm not a killer. This makes him a red herring. The show wants us to think he's the stalker, but really, he's just a guy with a petty crime record. Theory B. He is manipulating her. We have seen this before. Villains love to get the grandmothers on their side. If he can charm Julie, he gets a shield. Oh, Jeremy can't be the stalker. He helped me with my crossword puzzle. But here is where it gets spicy. Jada arrives after this chat. Jada has questions. This clash is going to be electric. Jada Hunter does not play games. If she corners Jeremy at the Horton house or wherever Julie is, she is going to drill him. I want you guys to watch Jeremy's body language in this episode. Does he look relieved to see the cops, or does he look like a trapped animal? And remember, the spoiler says Jada has questions for him right after Steve finds new evidence. Does the evidence point directly to Jeremy, or does the evidence exonerate him and Jada is just there to clear things up. Personally, I think Jeremy is too obvious. It's too easy. I think the real stalker is someone we aren't even looking at. But for this episode, Jeremy is definitely in the hot seat. Section 3. The Hospital Showdown, JJ vs. Theo. Let's shift gears to something that is going to hurt our hearts a little bit. The hospital scene. Theo and JJ. We need to contextualize this history. The spoiler says Theo had a pleasant visit from Gaby, but then a serious visit from JJ. And it mentions the tension regarding the curfew and Theo's accusations of racism against JJ. This is heavy, real-world stuff that Days is tackling, and it adds a layer of grit to the show. Theo is currently recovering from being kidnapped by Peter. He is traumatized. He is physically hurt. And in walks JJ. Now, JJ Devereaux has been on a redemption arc for years, right? He went from the bad boy breaking windows to the cop-yanked hero. But this current storyline puts him in a very gray area. If Theo is accusing JJ of BS telling him to get off the streets while ignoring others, that breaks the trust they built. Remember, JJ dated Theo's sister. They were almost family. My prediction for this scene, JJ is going to try to apologize or at least explain his side, saying he was just trying to protect Theo during the curfew. But Theo isn't going to hear it. And frankly, he shouldn't have to right now. He's in a hospital bed. I think we are going to see a very cold, hard side of Theo Carver. We are used to Theo being the sweet, autistic genius who sees the good in people. But trauma changes people. I think Theo is going to kick JJ out. I think this friendship is fractured, maybe permanently. And watching Casey Moss JJ navigate that guilt, that's going to be Emmy reel material. Also, ask yourself, why is JJ back right now? Is he just here to be the punching bag for this storyline, or is he going to uncover something about Peter or the kidnapping that redeems him in Theo's eyes? I'm hoping for the latter, but for Thursday's episode, expect tears and shouting. Section 4. Gaby and Philip, the unexpected power couple. And finally, let's talk about the wildest card in the deck. Gaby Hernandez and Philip Kiriakis. The spoilers say they are enjoying a night out on the town and having fun. Excuse me. Since when do these to have fun? Gaby is usually plotting a corporate takeover, and Philip is usually brooding about his father or obsessing over Chloe Albel. But honestly, I dig it. Think about it. They are both damaged goods. They are both the black sheep of their respective powerful families. Demara Hernandez connections versus the Kiriakis legacy. They both have been burned by love a million times. A date night at Saxton's or wherever they are going is exactly what they need. But because it's Gaby, we have to ask, what is the angle? Is she using Philip to get leverage at Titan? Is Philip using Gaby to make someone else jealous? Or, and this is my favorite theory, they actually bonding over their mutual trauma. The spoiler says they want to put the past behind them. That is a massive statement. If Gaby and Philip actually team up, they could run this town. They have the money, the ruthlessness, and the fashion sense to destroy anyone in their way. However, the spoiler also notes that Saxton's is hosting a game night. You know, nothing good happens at a public event in Salem. Is the game night just background noise, or is it where the drama explodes? I have a feeling their romantic date is going to be interrupted by the story. Maybe they see the stalker. Maybe they run into Alex and Steve. Whatever happens, keep an eye on the chemistry between Sherry Jimenez and Jean-Paul Lavoisier. If they click, we might be looking at the next super couple, or the next super disaster. Section 5. The game night atmosphere and final predictions. Host, so, pulling it all together. Thursday, January 22nd is set up to be a pressure cooker. We have the high-stakes thriller vibe with Steve and Alex. We have the emotional drama at the hospital with JJ and Theo. We have the mysterious interrogation with Jada and Jeremy. And we have the glitzy, chaotic romance with Gaby and Philip. Here is my final prediction for the cliffhanger of this episode. I think the new evidence Steve and Jada find is going to contradict everything we think we know. I think the episode ends with Jada arresting Jeremy, only for the camera to pan over to the window and show the real stalker watching them all. Classic Salem misdirection. I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you trust Jeremy? Yes or no? Is JJ wrong, or was he just doing his job with Theo? Are Gaby and Philip hot or a hot mess? Let me know your theories. I read every single comment. Don't forget to like this video, it helps the algorithm find more soap fans like you, and I will see you next time for more scoops from the hourglass. Stay dramatic, my friends.